The single biggest factor in response rates is competition. There are only so many deals to be had in a given area, and the more people that are marketing to those property owners, the lower the response rate for everybody. Hey real estate investors, this is Jeff Charlton with REIPrintMail, and I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about direct mail strategy coming into the last quarter of the year. As I record this video, we're approaching September 1st. One of the most important things to think about is to make sure that your lead flow stays consistent through the holidays. It's also important to make sure that right after January 1st, you kick off the year in a good way with plenty of leads. If you talk to most real estate investors, they'll say that you should stop marketing from Thanksgiving through the end of the year. They say that during the holiday season, response rates go down because people are distracted with the holidays. This is, in fact, a true statement, that people get distracted during the holidays, and there does tend to be fewer people responding to postcards or letters about selling their house. But it doesn't go to zero. Also, more importantly, there are a lot fewer investors mailing during that time frame. An additional factor is just because there's a busy holiday season, people do not stop having life events that would cause them to be motivated to sell their house. People still get sick, enter nursing homes, get divorced, get into financial trouble, and all sorts of other reasons that might cause them to need to sell their house for a wholesale price, whether or not there are holidays or not. Because a high percentage of investors stop mailing during the holiday season, you have less competition. The single biggest factor in response rates is competition. There are only so many deals to be had in a given area, and the more people that are marketing to those property owners, the lower the response rate for everybody. This is simply because the pie gets split into more pieces. In other words, if you're the only person mailing in a given area and 100 people would typically respond, all those leads would go to you. But if there's 10 investors in that area, all mailing, there's a pretty good chance that those 100 leads would get split between those 10 investors. Now, those who had better mailers might get a little better response, but they're not going to get all 100. So let's take that concept to the holidays. Yes, there might be fewer people responding, but there's also a whole lot fewer people mailing. So your chance of getting the prospect's attention is much greater than it would normally be. A second issue is if you stop mailing, you're guaranteed to get 0 leads. Yeah, you might have to spend a little more money to get a lead, but at least you have a continual lead flow, which will ensure that you have a continual deal flow. What's better, slightly less profitable deals or no deals? Most people prefer to see a steady deal flow all year round. Along those same lines, there's a lead time required from the time you start thinking about mailing to the time the leads start coming in due to campaign planning, production time, mail time, and response time. That lead time is usually at least 3 weeks and sometimes more, depending on how long it takes you to plan your strategy. So if you want to have your leads coming in January, you better start thinking about those campaigns and get them planned by the 1st of December so they can be received in the mail right after January 1st. Add all this up, and the smartest move you can do is plan your 4th quarter mailing through the end of January right now, rather than wait until December 1st. This will ensure that if you get distracted during the holidays, the mail will still go out and you'll still have a predictable lead flow that is consistent and does not have gaps. And there's one other benefit to spending money in the 4th quarter, and that's you can write it off on your taxes. So having a higher ad spend before December 31st is going to help reduce your taxable income for this year. We at REIPrintMail specialize in helping you plan campaigns and ensure your lead flow stays predictable and consistent. Click to set up a free coaching call with one of our direct marketing coaches and get the ball rolling today.